Hello guys, welcome back to another video. Video is gonna be based on the season of fall. We are gonna do creating my fall TBR. I have dedicated this half of my shelf to my physical TBR. We're gonna do my physical TBR, and then we're gonna do my ebooks, you know, because sometimes your girl don't got money to buy a bunch of books, you know. Just a disclaimer, these are not exactly the books I'll be reading, but it's just to say that, oh, okay, these are gonna be the books that I want to read this fall, not the books I will be reading this fall, because who completes that TBR? Let's be for real. But we're gonna start from YA fantasy, romantasy, then contemporary fiction. You know, first book on the list is The Way of Blood by Tiffany D. Jackson, and I actually have this as a signed copy, guys. I don't know anything about this book, but I know that if it talks about racism, but it's also like a thriller kind of horror-based suspenseful type of books, and I feel like that is the perfect type of book to read during the fall. So this is the first book. We're gonna put it right here. Actually, we're gonna lay it down. Next on the YA is Ace of Spades by Farida Abike Iyimide. If I said that right. As an African with a name that everyone says wrong, I really do hope I said this right. I heard is a kind of like a mystery / thriller type of YA book. I've heard very great things. I've never heard one bad thing about this book, and I'm not joking. I've not heard anything bad about this book. And then I'm just gonna put it on the side right here. It's gonna stand because it's a very big book. Next on my list is 1,000 Splendid Suns by Khaled Hosseini. I've read The Kite Runner by this author, and I just want to say that book broke me, and I'm hoping this book will break me as well. And I think fall is the great season to break people's feelings down. I think this is just a book that I need to read this season. I've already read half of it, so it's more like a book that I need to get off my did not finish shelf. So yes, I'm gonna add this here, and I'm very much hoping I will cry tears of pain, of joy, of happiness, just a lot of tears. Next on that list is Divine Rivals by Rebecca Ross. This is a very popular book right now, and I'm just gonna read it for the fall season. I think this is gonna be the first book that I read this season, because I did read one chapter. I've started it kind of already. So we're gonna start with this. I think it's a mystery romantasy. So we're gonna read that. I have no idea what this book is about. I just know it's really good. Oh, there. Oh, and y'all, me and this book is matching. We are literally matching. Isn't that great? Next book is Insurgents by Veronica Roth. It is the second book in the Divergent series, and I've already read the first book, but I have yet to finish this whole series, and I heard the rest of the series isn't as great. But we're gonna read this, and we're gonna decide that on our own. And now that we're talking about this, we're gonna also read this, Allegiant. Hopefully we get to both of these books. I heard Allegiant is very bad. The ending, I already know what happens at the end, so I don't want to ever read the Allegiant. But I think I need to get this series out of the way, because I've not read this for like 10 years. 10 years is a long time. So we're gonna lay these down like right here. I'm gonna figure out how I want this to look, because it looks horrendous on my shelf right now. Next is The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes by Suzanne Collins. The movie is coming out in November, so the plan is to read this book so I can get it out the way and watch the movie and be like, yes guys, I've read the book before I watched the movie. Isn't that great? This is, by the way, the wrong book that I ordered. It's the right book, but I ordered the UK version, and I hate this cover, so I'm literally gonna have to order the US version. This time, hopefully they send me the right version, because they sent me this version, and the image of the book was the US version, the nice one, and instead I got this. Iron Widow by Miss Ranjai Zhao. I answered that right again. It is like a fantasy book. I've already started reading this. As you can see, I've already started reading this. So the plan is to finish it. I'm reading this for the fall because, guys, look at this cover. Isn't this cover like literally gorgeous? And it's giving fall weather, fall seasons, you know. So I'm gonna read this. Like, light a candle, read it for 3 hours, 4 hours straight, you know. Legendborn by Miss Tracy Dion. And if I am being honest right now, can you tell I read half of it? yeah, basically I read half of it and I was in a book slump, so I was really bored. But the plan is to get back into this one because this one is actually good. I didn't DNF it because it's bad. I DNF'd it because I was in a slump. I did not feel like reading. But now we are getting back on track to our reading goal. And this book, I will be done with it by the end of this year. I'm not joking. I will be done with it. And if I am not done with it, you guys can come over to where I'm at and knock some sense into me. I am joking. Please do not come and knock me out and send me to the ER because I would not be paying for medical bills. I was giving new college kid finds out she has magic. It's a mystery. It was just so great and I am ready to read this. Next book is Cinder by Marissa Myers. This reminds me of Twilight, but I've never read Twilight, so here we go. We're gonna read this because I think everybody and their mamas has read this except me. So it's time to read this. And it's giving Halloween. I don't know, the cover gives Halloween. The Lunar Chronicles. Yeah, it's giving Halloween season, which is fall season. So yeah, I'm excited to read this. Next book, this is more like contemporary romance, is The 7-Year Slip by Ashley Poston. I've heard a lot of great things about this. Friends have recommended this book, so I'm pretty excited to read it. This is basically this woman who moved into this apartment her aunt gave her, and then she finds out there's a ghost. There's not a ghost, but like a guy who's living in this apartment at the same time as her, but 7 years in the past. 7 years in the past. What if that's your man right there? What if that's the one and you're telling me he's not even living the same time period as you? At least it's not 100 years ago, but 7 years still, that's a lot. 7 years ago, I was sleeping in my mama's arms. I'm still on, that was not 7 years ago, y'all. Y'all, I'm not 7 years old. So that is all for my physical TBR. Now let's get on to my e-reader. Okay, starting off strong is If We Were Villains. I think everyone has read this book except me. So this fall season, I'm gonna get into them popular fall books. I have no idea what that book is about, but I heard it's very good. So I'm gonna try it and I'm gonna read it. And if I don't like it, I will be mad because everyone likes it except maybe me and like 2 other people in this whole entire world of 7 billion people. And I'm just one part of the 7 billion people with billions of also animals and nature, and basically I'm just a piece of nothing. Now that we talked about If We Were Villains, obviously you gotta include the popular one, The Secret History, and we are gonna read that because once again everyone has read that except moi. That's French for me. Yeah, I speak a little French. Oui, bonjour, je ne parle pas français. I quit. Next is Fire Survive by Holly Jackson. Because I love Holly Jackson's writing style and we need little mysteries on our list. We can't just all be reading romance. Next is The Naturals. I'm really hoping The Naturals is really good. I heard it's like teenage Criminal Minds and I love Criminal Minds. Like LOVE Criminal Minds. So to find out teenagers like me are doing Criminal Minds stuff and I'm not, it's disheartening. Next is The Silent Patient because everyone has read this book and I've heard it. It's 50-50. 50% of the people read it like it, 50% of the people read it don't like it, and I want to know why. And I think I know the secret in the book. It's kind of a mystery, so I think I know the secret. You know, the thing is I have a very short memory. I have the memory of a goldfish, so I most likely have forgotten it. But then when I read, I'll be like, oh, I literally read this spoiler on TikTok. Next is Babel by R.F. Kuang, and because we were talking about R.F. Kuang, I'm also going to read The Poppy War. Babes, y'alls have been putting me on R.F. Kuang for like 2 years and I have not touched it. But this fall, I promise you guys, I will at least try to get to Babel, and then I'll also try to get to The Poppy War because I want to read it so bad. Like, it looks like it's such a great fantasy book, you know. Also, in addition to these physical and e-read books that I want to read, I also want to mention some art copies that I will be reading this fall. The Library of Shadows. I heard it's like kind of like a mystery type of book and it's just giving very much fall vibes. These books are, by the way, not out. Once again, they are our copies. So if I do read them, I will hopefully before fall is over make a video on if I would recommend these books. The Library of Shadows is just a mystery book, and it's YA as well, and the cover is what really attracted me to this book. Now I'm hoping the information inside the book will keep me rooted into this book. Next is To Kill a Shadow. It is a fantasy book as well, and it was recommended that if you like Sarah J Maas, or if you like Crimes of Nyaxa series, this book is recommended. So I will be reading that to see. It doesn't really live up. I don't like Sarah J Maas, but I did love the Crimes of Nyaxa. So it's probably most likely vampire fantasy. So I'm very excited for that. Everyone's thinking it is a boarding school mystery book, and you guys need to know I love boarding school stuff. So I'm excited to read that as well, because it is mystery and the cover is just amazing and it's immaculate. And I have not read this, but from the description, it is a great book. So we'll let you guys know. Next is A Study in Drowning. It is also another kind of mystery book. It's giving fall very much. The cover is amazing as well. I really like this cover. I am excited to read it because it is an art. Guys, those are the arts that I will be reading this fall. Hopefully I get to them, and if not, then I don't. This is my physical fall TBR, and thank you guys for watching. I guess hopefully I do get to my TBR list, because your girl be going through some slumps in the middle of her seasons. But anyways, fall is gonna motivate me, hopefully. And as you can see, I'm wearing my Rory Gilmore sweater already. Rory Gilmore, it's giving Rory Gilmore core, and I truly believe that I will be Rory Gilmore without all the attitudes, you know. Thank you for watching, and if you're new here, please subscribe and like this video, comment, and tell me what your fall reads will be this fall season. That is all for today's video. Bye bye.